civil war is brewing amongst South African Chenin Blanc producers, fueled by interfering foreign tradesmen looking to capitalize on the conflict. On the one hand, we have the austere Chenin minimalists who make mysterious wines that smell of absolutely nothing, but then linger with chalky texture and stern acidity and all the personality of a Scandinavian TV detective. British wine critic Neil Martin once described them as complex intellectual Chenin Blancs that possess fewer obvious flavors or aromas. And his idea was that would appeal to more sophisticated wine drinkers. Tim Atkin has his own little term he uses, which is alluringly introverted. I guess it's the wine equivalent of that guy that you're making small talk with who mysteriously won't tell you what he does for a living. And all of a sudden, you have to know! On the other side of the Chenin conflict, you have a party often represented by wine retailers from countries like Germany, the United States, or the United Kingdom, who really say, just relax, guys, don't take yourself so seriously. We just want a little fruit. And really what they want is peaches and pineapple and nectarines and wines with a bit of oak spice that scream, I am sunshine in a glass. And to be fair, they've got a point, because Chenin Blanc can be enormously winsome. But here's the conundrum. How much can you charge for a wine that's just friendly? What does premium taste like? Is it essential that these wines treat you mean to keep you keen? Do you absolutely have to have stony, smoky flint elements with farty reduction and nervous tension? Sounds a little bit like dinner with Uncle Tony. Or can these wines be like a pineapple upside down cake, except with a PhD? Before someone tries to solve this conundrum by going, oh, but terroir is the ultimate decider. If your terroir gives you pineapple upside down cake, then there shall it be. And if your terroir gives you farty reduction and chalk and not much else, then that's the decider. And yes, terroir does matter and it does influence a wine, but so do winemakers. And let's not pretend that they aren't pulling some strings behind the curtain, because winemakers decide when to pick, early or late. Do they let the lees snooze or do they stir the lees? Do they ferment in a barrel or to a tank? Do they mature the wine in a barrel or in a tank or in an amphora? How many times do they rack the wine? Do they use yeast or just native yeast? Do they refrain from or indulge in the Jedi mind trick? Because we do have to acknowledge that even the most hands-off winemakers are still making lots of tiny little decisions every day. And so when people say something like, let the vineyard speak, what they mean is make sure that all the winemakers work very quietly. But perhaps that is enough philosophizing for one day, because we're not talking about what all Chenin Blancs should taste like. We're just talking about one Chenin Blanc today, and that is the Olifantsberg Old Vine Chenin Blanc.